I'm gonna show you guys how I bought this house in Deltona, Florida with none of my own money, seller financing, and private money. Make sure you stay tuned for the whole video to watch how we broke down and structured this deal and how you could do the same for yourself. All right, so let's get into the numbers. We bought this property for $121,000. The seller sold it to us because they had a tenant not paying for rent. It was during COVID. This is August of 2020. And we got the contract for $121,000 with $11,000 down. So we negotiated the balance of $110,000 to be paid out at $700 a month for 100 months, and the balloon at month 101. That balloon would be $40K. So this is at 0% interest. We didn't pay $1 in interest on this property. Now, this property, the seller didn't know what it looked like from the outside. It looked like it needed a roof, and it looked rough. Tenants weren't letting them get inside. They didn't let me get inside, so I bought it pretty much without seeing the inside of the property. I raised $50,000 for this property. That was to pay for the down payment and for the closing costs, and then obviously some repairs on the property as well. So before I committed to buying this property without seeing the inside of the property, I walked around the property. I tried to peek through the windows. I tried to get as much information about this property. It's only 1,300 square feet. I could see the AC needed to get replaced and the roof needed to get replaced. So those are some of the major components. I obviously asked the seller if they ever upgraded the electricity and the plumbing, but based on the age of the house, I knew it wasn't, polybutylene pipes, and the electric wasn't going to be like old cloth and wiring or anything like that. So I was covered on the 4 major systems, knowing that was good, and I was running my numbers that, hey, I'm gonna probably have to replace the floors, kitchen, bathrooms, and paint the property. The windows looked like they were in good condition also. So I felt confident, and also this was what allowed me to negotiate a cheaper price and seller financing at 0% interest, because I let them know, hey, like, I'm not seeing the full picture here, so I got to get a deal so that way I can move forward with confidence on this property. So cash to close was like $12,500, and then we had $37,500 for renovations, closing costs. So this is what we came down to on the negotiations: $121,000 with $11,000 down. Balance of $110,000. We used this whole budget for renovations, and so with this $50,000 I raised, that was at 10%, which was $416.67 a month. Taxes, this is private lending, this is seller finance, and then the taxes were like $225 a month, and insurance was $150 a month. So the total here was $1491 a month was my debt service, including everything. At this point in time, when I first bought this property, the rent on this property was only $1,500. So I'm really not making any cash flow here, but I'm getting principal pay down because that $700 a month, every single month, goes down to the principal balance of the mortgage I have with the seller. The best part about this is, so I'm all in at like $160. At this point in time, the property's worth about $220. So I have $60K in equity. So when I bought the property, it was worth $220, and I have my total debt was $160 when I bought it. So I have $60K in equity. Now, being in this property, the same tenant's been in there. I've raised her rent continuously, and now she pays, which she just renewed, $1,900 a month. So now she's paying $1,900 a month. My probably taxes and insurance go up a little bit. Let's say it's $1,600. I'm now making $300 a month cash flow times 12 is $3,600. Does $1 million sound nice to you? You can make real money with creative financing. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss any of these videos.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
So I'm making $3,600 a year. My return is actually infinite because I have no money of my own in this deal. I bought this property with none of my own money. So my investor's getting their money. The principal's getting paid down for the seller finance mortgage every single month by the tenant. That's the best part about real estate. And the number that a lot of people don't think of is the principal pay down. That's really how you make a lot of money, is paying down the principal. So for us right now, as it looks in October 2022, we are have a $91,800 balance. We still owe $50K to the private lender financing. So I currently owe $141,800, and now this property is worth $285 actually. So now I have $140,000 in equity. So in 2 years' time, I got appreciation, I got principal pay down, I got some depreciation also from the taxes from owning the property. But now I have $140K in equity. Now I'm making $300 a month and I'm getting $140K in equity. So as you have a static payment with the seller of $700 a month and with the private lender of $416 a month, I'm now able to increase rents, as rents are going to constantly be increasing. And so my cash flow is going to go up continuously. My equity is going to go up continuously until I sell it. Now, the best part about this is I have another, let's say, 7 years left of paying down this principal. Now, any point in time with a balloon payment with 40 grand, at any point in time on this 91,000 I owe, next year, I could tell them, hey, I ran into some money. I have 45 grand right now. Would you take 45 grand and I pay you your balance of 91,000, 85,000, whatever it is at that time, and try to discount that note in the future? I can make this offer to them at any point in time between now and payoff and just see if they would consider taking a discount. And it just depends on where they're at in time and circumstance. Just like buying properties from sellers, it's all time and circumstance. So just making the offer to them, they might say no, they might say, well, I would take 60 grand and I could get a 30K discount. It just depends on what you can negotiate with them. But pushing out the loan term as far as possible gives you more ability to discount that note because they have to wait so much longer to get paid in full. So it's always best to not have any balloons. With this couple, they were a sticking point to have a 10-year balloon or 100 months. So that is a huge, amazing benefit of seller financing, is being able to discount the note in the future. So you should always try to discount the note in the future. If you sell a rehab, try to pay off a note for a much cheaper price and make those offers yearly whenever you have more capital that you can dispose of and, pay off that note. If I was able to pay 45 grand to pay off a 90K note, I would in turn probably just get the tenant out of there and sell it right away. And then I would be making 180 grand on one property just because of that situation. I could discount the note, put the property on the market, sell it, and literally I just got a 40K discount on a mortgage payment. This cannot happen unless it's with seller financing. Bank of America is not going to discount your note 40K. So in this economy, you want to make sure you're doing two things: talking to everybody you know about what you're doing in real estate so they have interest in lending you money to do these types of deals so you don't have to use any of your own money. And then make sure you're making seller finance offers on all your properties. Cash and seller finance offers. Make it happen. Take action. Bang.